Well, hello and welcome to another chapter, another riveting chapter of World's Longest Suicide Note. My name is Roger. Um I'm suicidal. Uh, my mental illness is at a point where when I'm having a bad day, I'm just there. I don't want to be here anymore. But I'm not actively um, planning or doing anything. I'm more passive. I'm passive right now. So and I'm really working hard to keep it that way. But it's so challenging nowadays. The world. Um, so we'll see. Yeah. So I'm going to talk just a little bit, and then because I said I'm going to get right back to these videos, doing more of the videos, and then I didn't. I had some projects going on, uh, but at the end of the day, I wasn't prepared or in the mood or any of the above. I've been drinking a lot. I mean, not, and by a lot I mean comparatively to. Oh, hang on. Before we get going, I have to say what I always say, um, which is even though I am suicidal and I've been that way for a very long time, and when things are difficult, I don't want to be here. Um, I am not in any way, shape, or form a professional mental health provider, any of the above. I am not somebody who you should be taking life advice from, other than when I say you have to stay here, you have to be here. Listen to that. Um, but everything else, always talk to somebody before you make big decisions about anything, especially your mental health. So, anyway, yeah, I'm going to just do a catch up here. I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of painting. This is a massive painting. This is one that it's kind of a commission piece in the sense that I offered it through a nonprofit auction. And I said, whoever wins gets to have the picture that they want, painting. And so in a way it's a commission, but it is they paid a nonprofit for that, so it's a win. All right, so that's what I'm doing. They want it, but I do want to talk a little bit about, like I said, I've been this year's been a year as far as my mental health. It's been a challenge, and I realized that I was drinking more and more. It started out where, I mean, it did. It started out a long time ago. I used to try to kill myself by drinking myself to death. You know, you go through the stupor phase, and then you get into blackout, brown out. Then you go to blackout, and then at some point you die. I never found that point, but it wasn't for lack of trying. So I mean, I've done drinking. I used to drink before I went drinking. Just so the drinking would work. So I know that, and I realized it, and changed my patterns. But this year, a couple drinks on the weekends turned to a couple drinks each day on the weekend, and then those drinks, even though they stayed to a couple, the amount of alcohol got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And bigger. So I mean, it's like I was on a down. I mean, a bad trajectory as far as that goes. But see, that's the thing is we do this little by little, and so we don't really notice when we put just a little bit more in it. And that's what I was doing. So I had to, which you understand and you realize, and then but when you take that away, that was that your one of the coping. It wasn't a health. I'm not saying it's a healthy coping mechanism by any stretch, but it made me feel better, and so anything that makes me feel better, I have to be careful with. So, I have to. It has to be a healthy and all that stuff. So anyway, I've had to take a step back from that, and so here we are. The person that won this really loves crab. They go crabbing. They have parties where they love to entertain around culinary stuff. And so they wanted a picture with crab, and I'm like, okay, let's do crabs, but you also like to prepare it for people. So anyway, I went online, got a AI generated, and you could tell it's AI. I mean, and so I'm a child of Skynet, and so I still don't trust AI at all. And if you don't know what I mean by a child of Skynet, then look it up, Google it. It's from a movie. Basically, they have this artificial intelligent defense system that they put online, and shortly after they put it online, it kills us all. It makes robots and Terminator robots, and we all die. Well, most of us. There's still some. John, if your name's John Connor, I think you're good, as far as that goes. Or Sarah Connor. Anyway, but I wanted to point out, you can always, AI is getting ridiculously good on everything as far as, and it's scary because they could do things with AI that seems pretty real. Having people say things that they've never said, but it looks exactly like them, that kind of thing. That's it's kind of freaky. Anyway, but there's always, if you look at a picture, there's always something that's just kind of wonky, where it does really good rendering stuff that you're used to and everything. Like there's crab and some ice. Oh, that looks great. It looks like a real picture. But then you got these lemon. But if you look at the cutting board, if you were to carry that line, how are these lemons sitting there? They're like balancing. It's like rock balancing on the edge. There's no way that those things are going to sit like that. So I can't paint it like that. So what I had to do is take that corner and move it out over here and then bring it down, because then that way at least you'll understand that, okay, there's enough room on the cutting board for the lemons to be on the cutting board. So I had to make that change there. And then if you look over here, cutting board comes across, there's this mallet thing, but then there's no cutting board. Where does it go? It's gone. It should carry on over here, and there's nothing. So little things like that have always made, you could see just little glitches in the matrix as far as that goes, because it's putting these things together somehow. I don't know how. I don't understand it. You ask a machine to do something and it does it. But I don't trust AI, and I don't like what it's doing to, as far as collaboration, as far as communication. There's people now that have relationships with AI. I know they've made movies about it, and it's not something that's super new. I mean, it's kind of the same, the same idea like on Castaway when Tom Hanks makes a friend out of a volleyball. Yeah, because we strive for connection, and instead of going out, people are losing the ability to have that with other human beings, which is really why it's there, why we need to use it. But they're using it with AI, and they're creating, because they're so starved for any kind of communication, like that, they're creating it. But the problem is it's not real. And no matter how much you try to convince yourself that that's real, it's not real. It's not going to be real. It's not genuine. And you may feel that it's genuine, but your mind knows it's not. And when it knows that there's a difference, you're not getting the benefits from it like you would be if it was a real person. And I know that there's situations that where people can't be in, direct communication with people, and I mean that's too bad. But this is where, as a nation, as a community, as a group of people wandering the wasteland, we're losing. We're losing, and it's taken a toll. And the next thing you know, we want to drink more to dull the pain of conscious life at this point. And so anyway, yeah. So this is what I'm doing. And I am going to get back to doing some more videos, and with smaller paintings. This is 3x3, and in my setup here, you can't. I mean, you can tell that the crab. And I'm going to tell you. Let's talk about crabs for a second. You can see the crab face there. See, it's like, can't hardly even see that. Like his little beady eyes there. I mean, let's just absolutely be honest for a second. These are just water spiders. They're creepy water spiders. I don't know what else. And I mean, people they like to eat them, but I mean, they're terrifying. They're like spiders with claws. And then how they like crawl around. It's like, have you ever seen a bunch of small crabs just kind of like scatter? It's like, seriously, like little spiders. And I don't like spiders at all. Not a fan at all. And so I'm not really the biggest fan of crabs. When I was a kid, we used to live. We live about 45 miles from the ocean. But when I was a kid, my dad thought he was a commercial fisherman, and so we went out and like super early all summer, caught a lot of salmon, and then when it was too rough or we couldn't get out, we'd go crabbing, and so ate a lot of crabs, caught a lot of crabs. I've been those pincers, the claws. I mean, on Dungeness crabs, those are no joke. I mean, and they're actually pretty good with them. I don't know, they're little eyeball thingies. They're little, eyeballs move around. I mean, they see pretty good, and they're pretty adept at locking onto a digit. The problem is, I've seen it happen. I've never had it happen to me, but I've seen a dude get like pincher on one, and he's like, and he goes to take the crab off, and he gets his other, so he's like, I mean, I didn't really care for that guy. thought he was kind of dick. So it's like that's nature getting back. But then he killed the crab, so threw it in some boiling water and ate it. Anyway, where was I going? I haven't been sleeping either. Sleep's been a challenge, and I'm sure we'll talk about that at some point. Yeah, about once every third or fourth day, I think it's just I'm so tired that I'll go back to get up, go to the bathroom, go back, lay down, and actually go back to sleep. Most of the other nights I'll lay there for a while, because my mind is also a dick and likes to bring things up, especially anything that may be giving me some anxiety. It gets amplified and shown on a screen on repeat in my head every night. So anyway, I think that's going to do it. There's going to be more to come. I have more to say. The letter's not done yet. So we're gonna keep doing this, but I'm not gonna promise anything. I mean, I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm gonna do a whole bunch of these more. I'm gonna put them out as I can. I'm not gonna put pressure on myself to do it. I'm just gonna keep moving along. Just gonna keep moving along, and I know that as we're in October, the light's starting to go away. We're getting more rain. Today's supposed to be a beautiful day though, so I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna take a walk later in the sunshine, because that's gonna be going on vacation for a while and won't be back until with any real what's the word? Any real frequency until April, May next year. So getting ready for that. Weather's changing, so I'm going to take advantage today. Other than that, I think that's it. Keep fighting, always keep fighting, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.